Hi, my name is Stephen Wright and I was the music composer on Sundown. Well, the inspiration for the score came absolutely directly from the visuals. The cinematography was excellent. It inspired in me like a very cinematic, orchestrated response to that. Ryan already had quite a developed idea of the type of score he was after, to the point of actually having some examples of various really lush cinematic works, and I used these references, so that I could not only do what I wanted to do, but also provide him with something that met his expectations. Obviously I watched the film scoreless, as in just basically without any music in it at all, paying attention to what it was trying to convey. Yeah, it had a very, very serene kind of mood, very natural but also somehow otherworldly. It gave me this feeling of I wanted something that reflected the landscape, but it was also rather mesmeric. But it had the capacity to move into really emotive territory when it was needed, and this was largely because of the subject matter, and the very fact that you are dealing with the subject of mortality here and people's different approach to it. And that's a pretty emotive subject for most people. Yeah, when I'm sort of trying to write music that really explores individual characters in a score, I quite often, I don't know if other composers necessarily do this. I know some of them do, but I tend to like to match maybe even just one instrument to a character, not in a kind of blatant, it has to be there all the time kind of a way, but just that there's an inference there where you tend to start to associate that sound a wee bit with that particular character. And in this case, I like the idea of the kind of the old Stradivarius, the sort of seasoned violin, which I associated with Frazer's character. And in the case of Caitlin, there was that kind of round, innocent, open sound of the flute, which I tended to associate with her mostly. And then it's how they intertwine and combine in the same way that the characters intertwine and combine when they're on screen. In addition to that, once you really know that you're going all in the right direction with that kind of thing, you're then wanting to provide texture to that, and make it very, very minimalistic where it needs to be minimalistic, or make it very, very lush and uprising where it needs to be like that. And all the orchestral arrangement that goes into that is all geared towards achieving that objective. Very, very commonly, particularly in the case of this film, you really want very strong kind of string section, because as I say, it's a pretty emotive film, and you tend to use emotive style of orchestration. Yeah, having watched the film several times and also watched it with audiences since it was completed, it's very gratifying because sometimes, if you look back at something and you think, I would maybe have done that differently, or I would have approached that, it can be quite niggly. But in this case, I felt that I brought it to exactly how I wanted it to sound and how I wanted it to be. And I think the thing I like most of all is there was a couple of I think they were actually really enthusiastic supporters of the film at the premiere that came up to me, and they just told me that they thought the score absolutely made it, the film, which I don't know if I would agree with, but it was nice for me. So, hey ho.